Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and as you can see by my armor, a little bit of a spoiler, we're getting into more Project E and the extended Project E, which is super awesome, here with StoneBlock 3. Hopefully you guys are ready. So today we venture forth into more StoneBlock 3, and today we are going to be talking about more EMC, getting closer to final automation. However, I was taking a look, and there is a lot of stuff that is going to go on, especially this and this. But by far, probably one of the hardest things to make, in my opinion, simply because, well, the majority of this stuff is non-EMCable. However, the ingredients, for the most part, are EMCable. The problem is, how are we going to go about automating a cooking pot? So that's one thing we need to figure out. If this is easy to automate, then it's not going to be a big deal, and we can just go ahead and have everything on tap. I just wish these had EMC. Like, once you craft it once, it's like good, and you're done, instead of having to constantly go over, because this is going to be a lot of cabling, I think, to get this done. But I digress, and we are going to look at this later, but I did want to show this, because this thing right here, whew, that is hard. Now, this, on the other hand, not so bad. This isn't too bad at all. Everything else, yeah, all the other stuff is actually pretty simple. Even taking a look at all the items here, all of these different singularities and stuff, not too bad. Like 45 of these to make a single singularity, and then I know that is included with all these other pieces like record fragments and everything. For the most part, everything has an EMC value. And speaking of EMC, we're going to talk about all of that. So how do we go about and utilize EMC from this transmutation table? Because at the moment, this transmutation table is, I mean, just sitting in the corner, right? Well, there's these things called energy or EMC links right here. So you have an EMC link, and they go up from a basic tier where you can just put items into it, to one that can actually export an item, to one that can hook up to refined storage that only has 9 slots, to one that has 54 slots. Yeah, we're going to be making the 54 slot one today for sure. Now, to craft these, it's super, super simple. You can see red matter, which we already have, and then we're gonna need the dusts, which I had thankfully already put into here. So all of this together is going to create our first one, and bam, we have it available. Now, to make the next one, it is going to require an energy condenser MK2. Thankfully, I have already made one, and I have already remade the energy condensers, so we have them. But yeah, this is basically a replacement for the energy condenser. Instead of you putting items into the energy condenser and then it's sending out the duplicated items based on EMC, instead we can use a personal EMC link, and it just directly connects to our system in general. So it's way, way nicer to be able to do it this way. You gotta love this mod. So we need, looks like 4 of those, and then we can craft the next tier. Now, thankfully, after crafting the personal EMC link, things get a lot easier from there, because it's literally just combining them together. So we have the refined version, which is just personal EMC links. So yeah, all we need is 9 of these, and we have a trillion EMC. So we really don't have any issues because of the thing that we just got. Man, we don't have to go through that EMC grind, thankfully. Goodness. And this one is only 6. And this actually equates to 558 million EMC, which in the scheme of a trillion is kind of a small number, like in reality. So yeah, we can just pull these out, and it's not even budging that trillion. And these things are huge. These things are huge, right? So what actually happens when we place these down? Well, as you can see, we have all of these slots that we have set up. And we're supposed to be able to, like, for example, anything that's EMCable, we're supposed to be able to set it into the slot, I believe. Like this, and you can see you can pull it out. So it's like always there, and you can shift to put it out. It looks like we can, do we right click or left click? We left click. But we can't drag the items in, so we do have to at least have them first. And now, this right here will always... will it allow us to import items in, but it'll also allow us to connect it up to a bus, and we can have any EMCable item that we need on tap in our refined storage system. Let's get that hooked up, because this is incredibly powerful. By the way, I know some of you guys mentioned using facades, but unfortunately facades, I don't think they work. I mean, we can always test it out, but I don't think the cables being facaded here would allow for the connected textures to work. But I mean, we can always try. So for example, this, if I place a cable here and it is connected to this side going directly out, does it maintain it? No, as you can see, unfortunately it doesn't retain its connected texture, and that's sort of the reason why I'm not using them. But as far as cable anchors go, the cable anchors themselves are very, very useful for this purpose. Let me go ahead and make a few. For example, if I want this to connect here and I want it to be on the top line, all I got to do is place a cable anchor there. And that will allow me to separate this line so that way I am actually not connected. So right here, I can place the cable right underneath and it's actually on its own network line. By the way, if you're wondering how I'm getting all of my processors, this right here is actually how I'm going about getting the processors. I went ahead and linked them all up. So we have our ME pattern providers that are just sending out our base set, our base products here. And those of course just have their base patterns already defined. And then in this side, I'm having silicon automatically smelted and then sent into this line to be turned into that. That's running over here. And then I have this being fed redstone. And then this side, of course, is receiving those, the silicon. And then this right here is just picking up all of our outputs. And it's basically automating everything. So right here is a EME bus, right? So I should have right here an ME storage bus is actually what I need. And I think we have them going on craft, right? So I should have everything I need to make it. There we go. And now what we need to do is we'll take this ME storage bus, right? And we can have this refined EMC link. Actually, is this the one we want? Yeah, this is the 50-something outputs. So what we'll do is here on the back, we're just going to connect this to it and run the cable. And now anything we put in here is going to show up that has EMC. Anything that is in there will now show up as an EMCable item. Pretty crazy, but is definitely well worth it, especially for things like this. So like any of these that have EMC, for example, like these mob filters, you can just put that in there and have it going into a Neutronium compressor and it's just going to generate it. So this is going to definitely be things we need on tap. For example, crystal matrices, all of these different things need to be on tap. Basically, we're entering the age of creative mode. However, keep in mind that not everything is EMCable, so we still are limited with some things. And it looks like we can just shift click all of these items that I have lined up here inside this. Boop, boop, and boop. And you know what? I'll even throw bread in there. Why not? So with all of those items inside here, we can now open up this and we should be able to see everything that's in here. For example, Eternalist fuel. There we go. It's saying we have like 244. It'll give us the exact amount that we could actually pull out. So there's 200,000 of them literally listed there, which is just crazy. And if we continue to search through here, for example, for like dark matter, bam, there's all of our dark matter. And all of this is just coming from here. And so, yeah, it's really, really nice. Redstone. Yeah, it's saying we have 31 million. Very, very useful tool. And you can have multiple of these. Oh, by the way, with all of this stuff nice and automated now, I do have all of the stuff from AE2, I believe, ready to go. We have 56 of these and 56 of these. And that's how many I actually need to be able to complete this setup here. So yeah, I need basically 56 of them. So if I place this here, I can go ahead and start building everything that I need. So I got them all placed in, but they're not all hooked up, but it does look a lot better now. Like it's definitely fitting. This is the original intent for all of these devices here. All right, so now that I have all of that, I need to start I need to really try to find a path. That's like one of the biggest problems. Like once you get to a certain point in a mod pack, you really got to start like figuring out, what do I need to do next? And I think for me, it's going to be needing to clear out a large area. I really need to get up here And what I want to do is I want to have this whole area nice and cleared out. And I want to use this upper area, but I need something to help me clear it out. And I think one of the best tools for that, well, is going to be the good old builder. Yes, I am bringing out the builder this time. So the builder can clear out large areas, but it can also do other things. It can actually build things, believe it or not, given the name. But I'm going to need to definitely use this bad boy. So in making the actual card, you are going to need the shape one. So you're going to have to start with the shape card. You're going to make the shape quarry card, and then I need to surround it with glass to make the clearing card. And then I also need to figure out roughly where is the center of this. I'm thinking right about here is about center point. Yeah, I'll go with that. And this whole layer right here is going to be cleared. Of course, I already know that, but I think I want to go with a sort of spherical shape up top. So I think I'm going to end up going with some dark glass here. And if I place the builder down right in the spot where I want it, I am going to need something to clear this out with. And for that, we could actually just go about using an EMC link. Yeah, to send the items directly to. Like just a regular personal one would be fine. So we can put a personal EMC link directly on the top. Could even use this to build, as well. We need a point. And we need a lever. So let's give this some power. Hopefully this doesn't drain. Oh, I actually probably should put a buffer on this. Otherwise, my mother is going to get out of here. My mother silverfish. We can do 250 RF, I think will be fine. Because we don't have we're not generating a ton of RF at the moment. All right, so now I think it's time for me to go ahead and start defining my shape. So, it says you can only do this on a builder. Okay, so I need to set up a shape. Unfortunately, I can't really see the shape, but I was thinking a torus. And I think the torus, is a torus vertical in its shaping? We can also do it in here. Hollow torus shaping. Let's see if I can show the support for this. How is this being generated? So remove this. Let's do a 9 by 9 by 2. Let's see if that saves. And I am now not seeing a support for it. I'm going to have to move this down and get a better view. Okay, yes. So it does lay out vertically like I want it to, or horizontally like I want it to, not vertically, which is perfect. Okay. So with that, I know that I'm going to need to bring this up a little bit. And how big do I actually want this? That is going to be the question. Perfect. So I think to get started here, what I'm going to need to do is I need to get this up top until I can't see it anymore. So at the moment I'm running at 391139, and what I need to do is set these to 0, and I need to set this to like, I don't know, 15 for now on the offset to bring it up. And hopefully that brings it up. Okay. So now we know that it is at 15. We need to go 16, 17, 18. We need to make sure this is at 18. I think that is going to be the height that I wanted at. 18. Set. And it does break into this, so we actually need to bring it up just two more. So 20. 20 is at the height that I want this at. Perfect. So let's break that again. And we'll set it to 20. I have no idea why these numbers change. That's been a bug for a while. But we can fill. I'm not seeing anything there. Perfect. Unfill. And then at this point, it's going to be the same thing I had set up here, except for I'm going to be doing all the work down here. This still needs to be hooked in. See, it still has max power. The only thing we need to give this thing is a lever after we put this on top. Hopefully it can send all the items to that. Okay, so lever and we're gold. Let's go ahead and make this thing. and get this grinding out. Now, I think what I want is, instead of it being hollow, I want it solid. And I think other than that, we're good. So we'll let it do its thing. It is going to mine it kind of slow because I did set it to a pretty low limit. We will work on power. Maybe next episode, I think we're going to work on power. We're going to set up a really nice power generation system. But today, I just want to get the area open up, and then we can make it. So a bee just spawned in and dropped some luggage. I almost forgot about this little guy. Look at this. I think this was from Open Blocks. So yeah, if you place this little luggage down, it's pretty easy to actually craft. It'll chop up all the excess blocks that are all over the floor for you. Very nice little fella. And yeah, you can pick them back up and everything. Also strike it with lightning, it turns into a double chest. It's a cute little fella. Also basically invincible. Like, this guy's not gonna bother with you. But yeah, look at that. And then you can shift right click and pick it up. Carry it around with you. Look at that. Boy, I know it's incredibly dark, but it is slowly but surely hollowing this area out. It looks like we're going to have some steps to get up to it, but it's going to be a really nice addition to the up top area. We're going to need some space, and I think this is going to provide a bunch of it. So it is almost done, except for this massive chunk right here that I've got to get rid of. Now, I don't want to do it by hand. As you can see, I was working on it by hand. So what I'll do is I'll just use the builder again. And it's actually not going to be too difficult to do this. All I'm going to do is turn this off and basically set the roughly the same height here, which is 11, and the starting point. And we set this to cone. And I think this should work. Now, the sizing here definitely does not need to be 39. Let's set that to maybe 23. And then I will be able to judge here. Did that still do the same shape? It should not have done the same shape. Should not be a torus. It should be a cone. Oh, sorry. I don't need a cone. What am I doing? I need a cylinder. Cylinder. There we go. A cylinder. That should be fine. And we had this set to 20. Now let's see if this is what I want. And I think it is. I think this will literally get rid of, I may expand it out just a little bit, but that's going to get rid of exactly what I want to get rid of. It looks like it does need to go up 2 blocks, but other than that, this is perfect. So if you're wanting to know the exact dimensions that I have it set to, it is exactly this. So 25, 9, 25, and 20. Cylinder, bam, ready to go. Turn this on. And it is clearing this out pretty quickly. So it's slowly but surely coming together. This is what I've done. I've just placed down some concrete. I got some logs placed down up here, along with some leaves, sort of in a randomish sort of setting. But these big walls here, these are actually going to be the chambers for which we do a few different things. For one, we've got to do mechanism, and we've also got to do blood magic, which those are 2 mods that take up a huge amount of space. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Now with all of the upstairs done, that is just going to lead us to even more fun, as we need room. We need room for these larger mods, such as blood magic and mechanism. So with this knowledge, let's take a look at what we're actually going for. So the Indurus Pearl is next on our list of things to make. Actually a really easy thing to make. It is very, very simple. I think we actually have everything to do this. So this is just one of many things that we're going to need for the Infinity Catalyst. And then the other thing is going to be record fragments. Like, we can actually make fragments right now. I think we have a couple of discs. Yeah, we can literally just put that in there, and then we have record fragments. As far as everything else goes, like the Ender Pearl and stuff, why can't I? Oh, I gotta go down. This all gets EMC, and the Indurus Pearl. The only reason it doesn't have EMC, I guess, is because of the Neutronium ingots. But yeah, all we have to do is just craft those, and this is probably gonna be a process that is gonna be kind of manual because it has to be done inside this crafting grid. So we'd have to have all of the ingredients on us. Pretty easy, right? It's just a bunch of Endstone and stuff like that. But that's not really the hard part about about making all this. What's the hard part is some of these. Now, jelly babies, really easy to make, super fantastic, and it only requires 12 for one. Very easy. Emerald cluster singularity, we're going to have to set up clusters, I guess. So this will be a fun thing to do. And we might actually be able to do that today. But wall singularities, these are going to be compact machine walls. Now, automation of this is its own thing. I mean, yeah, we have to have the miniaturization set up. And we might have to be able to automate this, though. We might have to use a pretty interesting setup for it with the builder and such. I'm just trying to think about all these. Uranite, pretty simple. And we already technically have that automated. We would just have to feed it to there. Train track singularities means we would have to create ourselves a sequencing assembly and feed it EMCable items. You know, that's also pretty simple to do. Source gem singularity, we already know how to automate that. We had that going already. Really easy if you have time, watch a flowing time. And then magenta matter, just a ton of EMC, basically. This magenta is just literally EMC. So that's pretty simple. Slate. Now the slates, these are going to be something that are quite painful, but it thankfully it only requires 3 per singularity, which is nice. Pig iron singularity. This is another thing that we have to make in the Tinker's Construct smeltery, I do believe. And yeah, that one's going to be a pain. This is going to be one of the harder ones. This is a polonium pellet. To get polonium, we have to set up a fission reactor. And I have done that multiple times. That's actually, it's really easy for me now at this point because I know how to do it. But it's just so time consuming to make the fizzle fuel that this requires. Everything else is quite simple. So that only requires 3 of them, thankfully. But once we get it up and running, we'll constantly be producing polonium. So it's not a big deal. And then what else? What else? Because I want to go through all these. Palette brush singularities. EMCable item, very easy. Node overclocker, EMCable item, easy. Nitro crystals. Well, we've already gone over how nitro is made. Honestly, everything's EMCable except for the blazing catalyst, which is also EMCable, but we need a bunch of power, which I think we're going to work on next episode. Flux blocks, EMCable item, easy. Nether star, easy, EMCable. Mob soul. Mob farm produces tons of these, so easy, I would say. Mana steel. This is going to require a Britannia automation. We haven't even gotten to Britannia. That'll be an episode, though. We'll be able to fit this all in one episode for automation for that. Indris singularity. Infuse into pearl, EMC. That's super simple. Just requires 2,000 of them. This one, mob filter. EMCable, quite easy. We'll get that going. However, all these go into a neutron compressor, by the way. And to have all of these automated on their own, it's going to be a big endeavor because of the recipe for the neutron compressor. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And then Enderium block, EMCable, super easy. Corrupted ingot, EMCable, also a pretty easy thing to make. Balloon, this one is actually more complicated than it seems, as it is just sort of a massive crafting recipe that relies on us getting a ton of industrial hemp, either through a garden cloche or through crops. Yeah, that's and then we also need treated slabs. Yeah, treated wood. That is a whole thing in itself. And slow too. Wonder why this was included. But anyways, and then the other one is going to be the add-on processing tier 2, which is a very easy thing to automate. We just need latex and we've already done all that. So really we just set it up and it just starts making them. So really, in the scheme of things, the hardest thing to do, I think, is the balloon singularity. I know that sounds crazy. The polonium and potentially the wall singularities. I think that is going to be 3 of the hardest things to automate. So I think to make all this happen, infrastructure is going to need to be set up, and we need a bunch of these neutron collectors. So neutron collectors are what is producing all of our like the neutronium nuggets that we need for the compressors. So as you can see, we need a ton of this and including a block of it. So to make one for each of these is going to take some time unless we utilize this. And of course our box. Yeah, these are going to need to be set up, and I'm going to set up a thing that is going to go around one of these. And so let's see, I might do that in here. I'm trying to think. I really want to get a nicer area for this. You know what? I think this area is actually going to be perfect. So yeah, all I have to do is just place these in a sort of a circle around it. And I think this goes up to like 4 blocks away. I think it goes actually 1 more, but I'm just going to surround it like this for now. And I am going to need a storage drawer to pipe all of these into. Thankfully, these are EMCable, unlike the actual collectors. Even though these pipes are really slow, I think they're going to be able to support this, hopefully even in their basic tier. If I turn this on and give it a place for it to extract to, such as this, hopefully we'll have some process here. There we go. And we should start seeing these hopefully get pulled out. I have not seen the process start. Maybe it's because I have to put this in first. There we go. Now they're all getting pulled out and going into here. Just like I want to see. Nice. And this is going to automatically compact them all. So after checking on my Drigme farm that is back over in the mother silverfish, man, you can see we have tons of silverfish hearts and tons of other goodies. So what can I actually use these silverfish hearts for? Well, I think it's actually time that we get into deeper Project E. So base Project E, I really need to get myself like a matter pickaxe and actually make myself some of the basic matter tools. And it's going to require the mechanical crafter, but other than that, it's actually really simple. Diamond is all we need, like just for the pickaxe alone, because I'm going to make all of these, but I do need the pickaxe first, and then dark matter, and then just a silverfish heart. Yeah. So how do we go about doing this? Let's take a heart out, by the way. If you don't know, like you don't actually need a crafting setup that is separate for everything. So really I can get away with doing this. I can go this like here, here, and then place this in. And so long as you give it a redstone signal, it should craft it. Like regardless of the base shape that you initially have your setup in. So in all reality, once it puts everything together, we should have ourselves our first pickaxe, dark matter pickaxe, which will allow us to pick up the pedestal and everything without having to use a box or any other means. But man, I really want to get most of the dark matter materials made, including all of the tools. It's gonna take a little bit of time. So I got all the dark matter done. I did speed this up just a little bit in the back by adding some more water wheels, and then just ignore my weird gear ratioing, but hey, you know what? Whatever gets it done faster, that's all that matters. I couldn't stand the slow speed. So I did go ahead and upgrade. Now, for example, the helmet, to go ahead and get, to upgrade this into the red matter version, all I have to do is literally just add red matter. I'm going to start with the tools though. So to do red matter tools from Project E, I need to make all the base, right? All the base gears and then, or all the base tools. And then we can start making things like the Morning Star and stuff like that. Cause I do want the Morning Star and the red guitar. So those are definitely things that I am going to want. So yeah, I'm going to be working those out. And the one thing that I absolutely want, yes, a red guitar. This bad boy allows me to basically wipe out any mob in an AoE. It's going to be so good, but I do have to get the hotkeys set up for it. And then as far as everything else goes, I think I'm going to be just using the red matter pickaxe, simply because the red matter pickaxe, if I switched over to the Morning Star, there's just a slight chance that the Morning Star could just put a big hole in something just simply from right clicking on things. So yeah, that's a thing. Also, I'm upgraded. I am now going to just be currently in red matter gear, but honestly, I should probably upgrade. It's not really expensive at this point to upgrade to full like gym armor. So you know what? Let's The only problem with gym armor that I don't like is the pants. And so I might make everything except for the pants and the boots. I think, yeah, the helmet, like I definitely want the body stone, and I definitely want the soul stone. So yeah, we'll probably just, we'll just make the top piece. So with my newly acquired suit, I am now a superhero. I had to. But basically, the only thing I wanted was the ability for myself to automatically eat and stuff. For some reason, this wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. But without the boots and the pants, I don't have to worry about the weird jump effect. I mean, later on we might have to deal with that, but the weird jump is kind of a pain sometimes. The speed is really nice. I still might make those items. Like, it's not like I can't make them. It's just that it's going to take our watch of flowing time. I don't know. We are really speedy with it. But for right now, let's go ahead and complete all of our rewards. We got a compact chance cube, a blue bomb, and ooh, Neutronium block. Nice. And a crystal matrix block. I wonder if these are tiered. Can the crystal matrix block literally not be uncrafted? Oh, it's actually required for stuff. But yeah, it still can't be crafted. That's a nice EMCable item. Boop. Throw that in there. Throw this in there. All this EMCable stuff I will take. Thank you. So yeah, today was pretty nice. We got quite a bit of stuff. The good thing is now that we have this, I can charge this up. This pickaxe is incredibly fast. It's an insta break pick. Like we will not be struggling to break blocks any longer. So this will be a pretty nice. And then this thing can actually kill mobs. So if there's a mob in the vicinity, it has an AoE. I can just hit R on my thing using the extra function, and boop, it'll literally kill withers in one shot. It's a very fantastic tool. We're way overpowered now, I would have to say. Yeah, you can also shift C to get rid of this. You'll have to check your keybind conflicts, but I am ready to rock and roll for next episode. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And of course, guys, I will see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.